What's up? What's up? Quick Monday market review here. Um, this is not a signal breakdown, just context, structure, and what I'm paying attention to going into tomorrow. Let's chart. Well, well, well. Well, starting from the higher time frame first. Um, let's look at the weekly. Yesterday I was just scrolling through the charts yesterday, and something was obvious to me. I don't know if you guys seen that, but closing last week, we can clearly see we closed pretty bullish. We kind of went above this previous year's high, but still very intact. So price came back and just closed just shy away from it. Going into today, and what I was looking at last night was just wondering to just see how price reacts when it trades to at least the consequent encroachment of this bullish order block. But we can see that we came very, very close to it. So basically we manipulated lower. If we go to the 1 hour, so you can see very clearly. We can see price just manipulated just lower. We opened right here. You can see the weekly open, and going into 3 a.m. Last night, we just obliterated the lows, more or less creating a lower low, which is the Friday's low, and also relative equal. So we took out Friday's low. So going into this morning, I will presume everyone was looking for longs, targeting back this weekly open and possibly this buy side liquidity previous week's high that was resting above. But I would understand if you didn't quite see that, which is pretty normal if you knew. It's also Monday. Monday tends to more or less show its hands to us, and it more or less defines the set range. Early movement was mostly noise, no real confirmation yet until we took out this low, and we could clearly see on the NQ. This is NQ, and this is S&P. This is ES. We are we barely, or not even barely, we never even took the low out. So that was straight up what we call SMT. So this is the way I use SMT, is aligning in time and just seeing areas of liquidity and see if price can tilt his hand and show us what it's trying to do. So for example, in this situation right here, we can clearly see that price didn't take out the Friday's low, or took out the Friday's low on ES and didn't take it out on NQ. So going into this morning session at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., we could clearly see why price just, you know, with volume just sped through to the upside, giving no opportunities for people to capitalize on the move. Just left, So today was pretty to the T. It was a good trading day. Um, Another thing I wanted to point out is the fact that uh, dollar has been steadily climbing up. So what I tend to use dollar for is more or less like the tipping spoon, or would I say a followable market to actually show when one is tipping his hand and seeing if dollar is actually confirming the move. So you want to see dollar do quite opposite of what NQ and ES is doing when they are both in sync, right? You don't want to trade assets when they are decoupled. So you want to see that they are moving in tangent. And you can see if you were a buyer today, dollar confirmed, price just selling off, right? So this is just a little bit of what happened today. Nothing too crazy, just Friday's low just taking out as liquidity attacking buy sides. And clearly we can see on the weekly, which should have created the narrative of us expecting price to take out the previous year's highs and the buy side liquidity just resting above. So it was pretty obvious that when price traded lower going into Sunday, that we were going to take out previous year's high. So, and we clearly did that also on NQ, taking out buy side liquidity and previous week's high. So that's just it about for ES and NQ. Nothing out of the norm. And just a snippet on how would have captured. Sorry for my son just walked into my office, but yeah. So really, that's what I'm looking for going into this week. I want to see continued buying pressure, price pushing higher. Um, we've clearly used this as a other block to propel price higher, and we clearly didn't come into the consequent encroachment. So that tells me that buying pressure is pretty bullish. And on the 15, you can clearly see we created multiple and multiple areas in which we could have capitalized on this move higher. We might have missed this heavy buying pressure that came in at just at 9:30. And so I understand if you're frustrated of, oh, why didn't I catch this move, or why didn't I was I knowing this move? I understand that, but you gotta understand that you need the market sometimes to tip his hand, and especially if you're not in sync into where the direction is supposedly heading towards, and you should always know the drawing liquidity. And if you had that in mind, you would have been able to capture this move. So that would be it for today's daily review. Again, going into tomorrow, what will I be looking for? So let's go on the daily real quick. We could clearly see we took out Friday's lows and attacking Friday's high, which is pretty good. Um, I would expect more bullish buying pressure, and I would be looking at the consequent encroachment of this week. I'll be grading this week out and seeing if price can trade back into your opening on Tuesday. If we see price open lower and trades lower, we should be looking at buys, taking longs to take out relative equal highs or the previous day's highs. So that would be my ideal scenario for price. And let's go to the 1 hour. And we can clearly see that there is a buy side. Clearly see this. So if we could trade back into this fair value gap, and it aligns very closely into the 50% of this week, previous day's week. If we could trade into there, we should look at longs going higher. So going into tomorrow, I'll be very, very patient because of how explosive we've had today go higher, and just see if price can create a range to trade into this fair value gap for us to go long. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at. But again, um, I would like for price to tilt his hand to me and really shows me what it wants to do. So going into tomorrow, I'm not predicting anything. I'm just watching how price reacts around these levels. If liquidity gets taken and we see clean displacement, then I'll pay attention. But if not, I'll stay patient. Tomorrow isn't about being right. It's about waiting for the market to actually show you its hand. So that's it for today. Simple process, no rush. I'll reassess after tomorrow's session and see you guys to talk to you guys tomorrow. And please share this link of the Telegram link to anybody you think is going to be of value to. And I'm looking forward to talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.